reason China is so thirsty for Africa is because whoever controls Africa controls the world. Because most of the minerals necessary for a technologically sophisticated society and for a militaristically dominant society, those minerals come from Africa.
Yeah.
So if you want to be the biggest economy, you got to control the resources of the continent. If you want to be the strongest military, you got to control the resources of the continent. I'm not against voting, but I will only vote when you give me a reason.
Okay.
Let's take voting in America. Black people in America never get anything when they vote. So how do they motivate us to vote if we never get nothing when we do? Fear. Black people are the only constituency in this country who vote out of fear. In other words, I'm not voting to stop police brutality because they're not going to stop it. I'm not voting to change mass incarceration. They're not going to change it. I'm not voting to fix the schools. They're never going to fix them. So what you voting for? Because I'm afraid of what Trump might do. You see that? That's how we vote, fear. Now, when the Jews go to the polls, when the Latinos go to the polls, when the Arabs, the East Indians, the Anglo-Saxons go to the polls, they're going for concessions. I'm getting something out of this vote. I'm getting something that we already agreed upon before Election Day. Black people are getting nothing. We vote out of fear. Our motivation is fear. Joe Biden may do nothing for you, but Donald Trump will be worse. See how that works? This is how they get us out. The black man is the only one in the voting line voting because he's scared of what the other man might do to him.
You know, I love me some Dr. Umar, but one of the things that I don't understand is, how do he have all this information? How do you have all this information about, you know, us as a people, about Africa, about what's going on here in the States, but he still insists on building here? Because he insists on staying here. If you know, he is the one that said it. Whoever controls Africa controls the world. Okay, so us as Africans, why aren't we trying to control Africa? So we can be in charge and we can have some type of control over our lives. If you know this is what's happening, but it's like he speaks so much about building here and all the things that need to be done here, but then he's also saying that nothing is ever gonna change. So what are we doing? That's what I don't understand. And it's so many of our leaders or you know, our people fighting for us and all of these things, but they're fighting to stay here. I don't understand why we are still fighting to stay here when we have seen for so long that things aren't going to change, and it's coming out of your mouth that things are not going to change. Why do we keep doing the same things over and over again, knowing it is not going to change? And I believe, and I've said that I had a conversation with somebody before, and I'm like, the only thing that I can think about with Dr. Umar is the reason why he insists on staying here and building here when he know our power is in Africa is because trying to sell America, the Western, those of us in the West, on building and moving, developing in Africa is a harder sell than trying to do something here. Our people are more willing to try to do something here as opposed to us doing something in Africa. And I believe that he feels that ain't nobody trying to do nothing with Africa. Ain't nobody trying to move to Africa. Ain't nobody trying to develop. Not enough of us is trying to do it. And I believe that he's taking the easy way out by trying to convince us to, develop here and start our own schools and, our different, like the banks and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. But at the same time, it's too much crap going on here that's not going to allow us to really create the change that we need without us still having to deal with racism. So I'm just like, that's why I get so upset with him. And I love the mess out of Dr. Umar. I have learned so much, and I am continuing to learn so much from him. And I'm so inspired by him. But at the same time, I'm just so hurt and just so disappointed that if you know all of this information, why are we still trying to do something here? Why aren't we trying to take over our continent and create a home for us? Why aren't we doing it? Why isn't that the goal? Why isn't that the direction that we're going in, as opposed to keep on trying to do stuff here, knowing that they will never allow us to have any real power? And then that Africa is where it's at. Africa is where it's at. Why don't you put your energy, why isn't he putting his energy towards Africa and us doing what we need to do in Africa? Because here it is not working. When are we going to get, it's not working here. But we just continue to beg and hope and plead and believe in this country, and one day it's going to change. It's never going to change. And we just going to continue to die and to struggle here. And our kids are going to continue to, be... How do we keep doing this from generation to generation? How responsible are we being as a people, bringing our children into this situation when we already know that they're not going to be accepted, that they're going to have to struggle, that we have to prepare them for this world that is hating them, that's going to hate them. We have to teach our little kids in school that, not to say certain things, not to do certain things, because you can get in trouble by saying certain things, or, and then bringing our kids into these schools where these little kids are gay and don't know what sex they are. Like, why are we subjecting them to this? And it's just getting worse. So I just wanted to play that because I'm just like, I don't understand. If he knows all of this, so many of us know all of this. We know it's not going to change. And we know our power is in Africa. Why isn't Africa the solution? And again, I think it's just because it's an easier sell, and it's so much easier for us mentally to comprehend we can do something here that can better our situation. And Africa, trying to do something in Africa would be too hard. We're taking an easy way out, but not understanding that it's at a sacrifice of our children, our grandchildren, and those that's coming behind them that's going to have to put up with the mess that keeps going on, and it's getting worse. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. All right. Love y'all so much. Bye.